Thanks, Davey. G'day, Kye. Hey, mate, how's it all going now? I guess it's a bit of a shorter trip for you this time. Sort of how's the camp been?
Yeah, it's been good. Like you said, it was a nice just 2-hour flight for myself, so I'm pretty happy with that, not to go the full 24 hours or plus travelling. So yeah, the body feels good, the head feels good, and yeah, just ready to go.
Mate, what's the feeling you being in America in terms of, with the World Cup coming up, I guess in America and in, sort of Canada, how's the excitement sort of building and how good is it that you guys get to play a couple of games against the co-hosts? Well, 2 of the 3 hosts.
Yeah, the game here has come leaps and bounds, especially over the last 10 years or so, and yeah, all the excitement's just ramping up even more each week, each month. Obviously, as it gets closer to the tournament, and yeah, it's to be able to verse 2 of the host countries as well is pretty exciting. You don't really think about the teams that you could play, and to pull these 2 in the same window is pretty special. And yeah, I know all the boys are very excited to get out there and test themselves against some of the world's best.
Bence.
Hey Kye, I hope things are well. You played 90 minutes against New Zealand recently, but otherwise you've sort of been on the bench since Tony's come in. Do you feel like you need to win him over sort of thing in this camp and take your opportunity?
Not so much win him over, but I think we're so tight for competition and spots in this team that you just got to wait for your opportunity. All the guys are playing so well, and if you get handed an opportunity, you got to grab it with both hands and do your best to prove your worth, I guess, in the team as best as you can. And I know that everyone here doesn't take a minute for granted when they're out on the pitch, and I think you can tell by the way we play and the team spirit that we show on the pitch, and off the pitch as well, if you see videos behind the scenes and stuff about how we get on and things like that. But yeah, look, I just want to play the best role I can, whatever that may be, and I know all the other boys are the same. So yeah, just head down, and if you're lucky enough to get that opportunity, just make the most of it.
And how do you think your form is, Kye? Your team's not winning, but you're playing a lot of football. And I guess you have to be sharp against, Leo, Messi and these guys. You had him a couple of weeks.
Yeah, look.
Sorry, Bence, you just cut out for the last bit. Can you just repeat the second half of the question?
Yeah, I was just saying, I can't remember what I said. I was saying, you've got to be sharp and playing against Lionel Messi, who you had a couple of weeks ago, and these sorts of characters. Yeah,
obviously at club, we're down the bottom, and yeah, the team form's not been there really all year, and that is tough, but you just got to keep going and try and get your teammates around you to play the best of their ability as well as yourself, and hopefully turn that form, get an uptick in form, and it's better for everyone, including myself, to get maybe more chances here. And look, it's been a tough slog, but I think I've given everything I can this season, and will continue to do that, because that's the only way I'm going to have the best chance of being in these squads leading up to the World Cup, and hopefully for the World Cup as well. But I just know that I've got to keep my head down and keep working as hard as possible, and try and get better week after week.
Joey.
Hi, Kye, mate. Last time we saw you on the park for the Socceroos, that game in Auckland, you were playing left wing back on the left side of the back five. Almost got a goal for yourself as well. I'm just wondering, with obviously Jordy getting into camp late, Jacob called in a late notice, could we be seeing you on that left flank again this window?
We'll have to wait and see. I mean, I'd love to be out there, but yeah, look, it's not really up to me at the end of the day. Like I said earlier, I'm just going to put my head down and work as hard as possible, and be ready for whatever role I need to play. And yeah, I mean, I'll just be excited to be given the chance.
I mean, obviously we do know you more for your exploits centrally, but do you feel as though that's a position that, especially if you kept working at it between now and the World Cup, you really could sort of turn yourself into a bit of a hybrid for the World Cup squad?
Yeah, look, at each camp I'm learning more and more about that position out there. It's pretty difficult, so I have huge respect for the for the wing backs that are running around the pitch for sure. And yeah, look, I'm just trying to learn as much as possible and you know, try and do the best I can in that role, and hopefully that helps the team.
Bence, and happy to go back to back, Bence, 2 more each, so go for it.
Okay, sure. Kye, I'm just wondering how you think the fan experience would be in the States. You know, people worry about guns, visas. The things we see on TV are usually, you know, pretty divided at the moment over there. How do you think it would be? And do you hope the Socceroos get into the US for their group?
Yeah, look, it's a tricky question, to be honest. Since being over here, I haven't thought about guns and things like that once, to be honest. And I don't really keep up with the news over here, so I guess you guys probably see more than what I do. Yeah, so I can't really speak on that side of it. Obviously, you see the clips about crazy political stuff and things like that, but I'm just going to, you know, keep my peace with that. But yeah, in regards with visas, that's obviously another tricky hurdle that everyone in the world's got to get over, and I know they are pretty strict, but hopefully, you know, if you're a fan getting over there to watch your country play, you know, they get a bit more lenient and make it easier to access. I guess that would be one thing that I'd like to see.
Yeah, and in terms of Canada, I think they've got 12 MLS players in their squad. What kind of challenge are they going to be?
They obviously know the conditions over here and know each other very well from playing over here, and just, yeah, I guess playing in these conditions on these fields over here week in, week out, and not having to travel as well has a little bit of an advantage. But the focus has been on us this camp, and yeah, we just want to play the best football we can and keep improving with each performance.
Marco.
Hey Kye, what is living in Washington DC? Sorry, what's that like compared to living in what's the name, Edinburgh?
Yeah, it's been really good. I've thoroughly enjoyed it so far, to be honest. I'm across the bridge, so I'm in Virginia. But yeah, it's beautiful. The weather ranges really surprised me. You know, it was like -10 when I first got there, and through summer it was 35, 36. So that took a bit of adjusting, especially during summer, especially after 2.5 years in sunny Scotland. So, but I mean, both cities are beautiful in their own way. You know, Scotland's got all the beautiful old architecture and yeah, really like rich history, and then DC has the lovely monuments and the cherry blossoms when they're, you know, through March and April, and just a whole lot more people as well. But no, it's been really good. I really like the American sports too, so that's been fun as well.
And mate, what are your thoughts on your old team being at the top of the league over there in Scotland, and I guess Cam's form, you know, for them that sort of helped him get back in this squad? Yeah,
I'm stoked for him. I watch every weekend still to watch my mates running around. Yeah, I love little Cammy. Like, we're pretty close boys, and to see the form that he's been in and to be recalled here, yeah, I'm super proud of him, and he's just kept going and kept grinding and playing his game, and I'm just so happy that they're on the run they are at the moment, and hopefully they keep going.
Joey?
Got to ask Kye, after you said that, you've had any American sports, are you getting out to Nationals Park? You're going and watching the Commanders playing? What are you doing over there?
Yeah, the baseball just finished. I watched a few baseball games. I've been to an NFL game as well, but I think the main sport that I like over there is the hockey. And I'd never watched it before going there, but it's just like the atmosphere and the game just really like grabbed hold of me, eh?
So you're a Capitals fan, or did another team take your fancy?
Nah, Capitals. I support all the DC teams.
And just, mate, on Canada itself, when you look at this lineup that they have, obviously Alphonso Davis still injured, but then you look at some of the other firepower they have. Promise David is in there, I think. Who are some of the other guys? Jonathan David in there as well. Just how do you deal with, because when you think Canada, you don't think good footballing nations traditionally, but they've got quite a few good players. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, just obviously you got to be switched on at all times, and you can't really give them an opportunity to build into the game. So we've got to be on it from the first whistle to the last, and You can tell that that is the mentality within the group these days so far in the camp, and everyone's just excited. Like you said, they're pretty stacked, both sides. So yeah, we're just looking forward to it. It'll be a good test, especially being the host nations and playing them both in their home countries. So yeah, we're all just super excited and can't wait for the challenge.
Any more, guys?
Yeah, I got one more. Guy, you were talking about you talking about before being used at left back or left sort of wing back in the national team a bit. At club level, have you been used as a what's the name, centre back, or a bit on the left as well?
Kind of varied at the start of the season and midway through the season, like the left side of the back five. So I was out on the left a little bit, and then we had a new coach come in maybe 2 months ago, 6-7 games ago, and been playing a back four, predominantly just left centre back. So it's been a bit of a transition, like in and out, but like I said, I'm just trying to learn the role as best as I can and hopefully perform out on the pitch with it.